So I have talked about the Jackery 1000 V2 a few times on this channel, and so I wanted to bring another video to you guys about the Jackery, but after having used it for a few trips. So for me personally, especially being a girl in van life, I don't particularly like using my inverter. It's a 1500 watt inverter, and I would just rather use an external power source like the Jackery 1000 V2 versus using my house power for certain things. Like the top three things I use the most with this Jackery while I'm on the road is my blow dryer and my curling iron and my rice cooker. So these two things right here are what I consider a luxury. I used to curl my hair every single day, and all I would use is a Jackery, and it doesn't take that much power. I was actually pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to show you exactly how much wattage these two use, and then also we're going to talk about the rice cooker, which I use that a lot as well. So let's start with the blow dryer. So we are going to plug this in. We are at 71% here. Let's just see how much output this is. Something for me that is, I would say, something that a quote I live by, or my philosophy is look good, feel good. So for me, I'm not the type of person who can just wash your hair and let it air dry and it looks great. I have to do my hair in order for it to look decent. So having these luxuries like a blow dryer or a curling iron on the road is a game changer for me. And what I love about the Jackery is that it can handle it and it doesn't die like super quickly. And so as you saw, the blow dryer is like the most wattage of anything that I use like on a daily basis. And typically if you do the lower end, it's only a few hundred watts versus like 1500 watts. But what I love about it is if I do need to use the higher wattage on the blow dryer, this can handle that. Something that I have experienced with other power stations is that when you use that high of a wattage, they typically just shut off and they can't really handle it. So for this to not be too big and bulky and it be able to handle that much power, that's what I like about it, is that it's smaller and it's more compact and it's easy to use because it has the easy carry handle. So that's just one of the big things that I love about it. And then to be able to curl my hair and not use that much wattage either. I don't have to charge it so often because it doesn't die so quickly. Love that about the Jackery 1000 V2. This is probably one of my favorite power stations I've ever had, aside from the original Jackery 1000. So another thing that I use pretty much on a daily basis is this rice cooker. I did not know how much wattage this was going to take. I did not know if this would be able to handle it, and I actually was pleasantly surprised that this only takes about, I'll just show you. So we're going to plug this in, turn it on cook. It's not weighed down, but it's only about 300 watts. when that's on and when it's cooking. This Jackery does have the 12 volt here. You have 2 USB-C charging ports and 1 USB charging port. And then you also have 3 110 outlets. You can charge this through a 110 outlet via a wall outlet, or you could charge it with solar panels, and it has 2 connectors here for charging on the solar panel. Like I said, this does have an easy carry handle. And while it is somewhat heavy, it's not like so extremely heavy that you hate lugging it around, which I have dealt with in the past. So that is something that I also love about this Jackery 1000 V2. This particular model does have the light on the front of the Jackery, which I like, as opposed to it being on the back or on the sides. It's nice that everything is just right here on the front. And then with this 12 volt charging port, you can also charge it while you're driving. For me, when I first started van life, I was in a much smaller rig and I didn't have solar on the roof and I didn't have an electrical system. I lived my whole van life experience when I first started out just with a Jackery 1000. So with the Jackery 1000 V2, I feel like this would have been just as much of a great experience, if not better, because like I said, the lights on the front and stuff, but being able to charge your power station while you're driving was the game changer for me. When I did charge it via solar, I would literally just get my solar panels, plug them in, and I would throw them up on my roof, and I would just do the wires through the windows so that it would just be sitting on my roof, getting solar, charging my solar, or charging my Jackery while I was sitting. But I didn't have solar hooked up all the time, and I couldn't do that while I was driving. So it was really nice to have the option of just plugging it in and being able to charge it while I was driving. I had a very minimal setup, and so something like this was all that I needed. Like I said, the 3 things that I use the most for this power station is pretty much my blow dryer, my curling iron to do my hair, and then the rice cooker. Those are like the big things that I use every single day. And then the smaller things I use every day would be like charging my phone or my laptop. And what I really like about having a portable power station is that if you don't want to be cooped up inside, but you need to keep your laptop charged while you're working, you can take this with you anywhere that you go, and you can just charge your laptop mobily. So having the mobility, whether you have a full electrical system or you have a simple rig where you don't have an electrical system, this is a great choice to have. It's not too big, but it's not too small that it can't power the things that you need to use on a daily basis. Power station smaller than this probably wouldn't be able to handle my blow dryer. And my particular curling iron uses a little bit more wattage than your average smaller curling iron. Having the Jackery 1000 V2 with me everywhere I go makes me feel like I have the luxuries of home on the road. So I highly recommend this particular power station, and I do not recommend products unless I truly believe in them. And like I said, this is my favorite power station I've ever owned, aside from the original Jackery 1000. So if you'd like to check out this power station for yourself or the solar panels on their website, I will leave some links in the description below for you to check out. And you can also use my code LeaveHerWild for a little bit of a discount. If you yourself has a Jackery already, let me know which Jackery you have and why you love it. That way, if you are looking into buying a Jackery, you're not just hearing why it's so great from me, but you're also hearing why it's so great from others. So don't forget to comment your experience with Jackery as well. I cannot say enough good things about this power station, so please look into it if you are interested in a power station. I highly recommend the Jackery 1000 V2. And as always, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.